Texas Toast Podcast is brought to you commercial-free thanks to TSC Entertainment.
They call him the Ride.
Go ahead, put it on real tight. Hope you brought your best tonight. They say they got the fireworks, yeah, they say they got the show. Here around the chutes, you're the best, so let's go.
This is Texas Toast, a production of TSC Entertainment. I'm your host, Miss Helen. Kick back and enjoy as we toast the best from Texas. Hello, everyone. Cheers and welcome to Texas on Tap. I'm Miss Helen along with producer Kyle, and we've got a lot of good songs and tunes and charts to look at. So, Kyle, how are you today?
I'm good. It's good to see you. Yeah, like you said, lots of cool new stuff coming right now. Or I guess specifically this week, there's a bunch of new releases. So I'm excited to talk about some of these songs.
Yes, me too. And I want to preface this because I have a confession to make. So you were so studious and you were so on top of things. You had sent me over your 3 songs via a text yesterday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's been super busy. We have lots of company in and out. And so I was going through doing my research and prepping, and I'd sent you over my songs, and you came back with one in particular that we're going to discuss. But my whole point is this. I'll usually do mine first, and then I'll go back and look at yours to go back and preview them. And then when I did and found we had duplicated, I was like, boom, there it is. Once again,
we know which ones to talk about. Yep.
These two minds think alike. I cannot tell you, all of you out there listening in podcast land, how many times this happens with us. And I was like, when I pulled back open your text, I was thinking to myself, I know he probably absolutely thinks I have sincerely lost my mind. I'm just not as studious as you. I'm that seat of my pants girl, everything by the seat of my pants, but we get it. But I get it done.
Yeah, and that's how this industry works.
Yeah. So do you want to start off or you want me to?
Yeah, I'll jump into some. And I'm excited to talk about yours as well. There's a lot of cool stuff going on in this episode. So we really want to dive in on these songs. Mm-hmm. And they are worth all of your time. If you're listening, you guys really ought to check these songs out because they're awesome. So I'm going to start this week with a song by Jesse Robb Jr., who is a pretty established Texas act, and the song is called Things I Shouldn't Have.
I love it.
Yeah, so if you're not familiar with Jesse, he's got a great voice. He's kind of got that Cody Johnson vibe where it's like almost like, more George Strait line of things.
Well, he co-wrote Dancer Home.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And Jesse's been around for a while. He's a veteran songwriter, but also Texas artist. I love Jesse. Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. I met him actually at a show in Houston, I guess a month or so ago, and he played an acoustic set right before he went out on the run that I believe they just got back from. And he put on a great acoustic show, and I've heard his full band show is just something else. So
yes.
I need to make an effort to check that out as well. But anyways, the song's called Things I Shouldn't Have. And it's a little bit different from some of the stuff that he's put out previously or his other recent radio songs. It's kind of like an edgy song. And to me, it was just a nice change from Jesse. So check that one out for sure.
And that particular single is from his upcoming EP, Real Simple Country Volume 2. And it is a follow-up to his most previous number one, I'd Look Good on You, which was a great song too. But one thing I have to say about that song, as I was listening to it, it's like we all have had one of those moments.
Oh, absolutely.
And, it happens to us all, the best of us. So it's a great song. So good pick on that one.
And then the next one I want to talk about is another guy that's kind of upcoming. I hear his name a lot around Houston, and he's based here, and he plays solo, duo, full band pretty frequently around here. And his name's Rodell Duff, and the song's called Wrecked. So this one I picked because it's working its way up the chart. I believe it was the biggest jumper this week on Spotify. But since he's a Houston boy and I'm from Houston, I thought it'd be cool to give him a little spotlight because this song is kind of got the Nashville thing going on.
Yes.
And he's doing well in Texas. So that's interesting. And, you listen to all these people from outside of Nashville or outside of Texas, talk about, how Texas has got its own thing going on and everybody sounds different, but still unique at the same time. So it's kind of cool to see the reverse going on there.
I looked at his video and you know why I love the tune, number one, but then when I saw him with the Bregman jersey on, I love him.
There you go.
He's in. He's one of us now.
Nice.
He's representing.
Like Houston boy. So we got to go. We need to go check him out sometime. He plays at a lot of places in town pretty frequently. So
Yeah, and that was the other thing that I was going to say. I was looking at his schedule and where he's playing, and he's in so many of the good, hot heritage Texas venues that you need to be in. So I think that's contributing as well to him, coming up on Texas Music Pickers and Spotify. And I'll start looking for it showing up on my charts.
absolutely. All right, and then my last one is also your first one. Does that work for you?
Let's do it.
All right, cool. So this one's Heaven's Jukebox, Jaden Hamilton. This one caught my attention, biggest debut or highest debut. And Jaden's actually been on my radar for a little while. I found him on Instagram a while back, and it's oddly enough, I mean, he's from Louisiana and he lives in Nashville now. So I guess he's, he fits in this thing because, it all crosses over red dirt, Oklahoma, Louisiana, all that good stuff. But I don't think he's really made a mark yet in Texas. So I'm hoping that we kind of start to grab onto him because I think his music's phenomenal. I think he's got a great voice and he's a solid songwriter.
Well, I can tell you the reason why I picked that song is because when I started looking at the debuts for this week on Texas Country Music Chart, he debuted at 98 and he also came in with the most ads. So he's picking up momentum in just his first, infancy of
That's
this
awesome.
release. And and I know how you're such a huge TikTok person. And I went back and did some research on the single release and the verbiage that was there. And he's done all this straight out of high school graduation. He has 330,000 followers on TikTok with 3 million views. So you're going to have to check that out. You're my TikTok boy.
Yeah, it's funny. Well, we'll get into that later on. But yeah, no, I mean, like I said, I've seen his name, and I feel like every time I've mentioned him to other people in the Texas world, they're just like, oh, I don't know who he is. And then they look him up and everybody says they love him. But that's good to hear that he's climbing into the charts, especially because he's signed to Sony Entertainment nationwide, not their country wing or anything. He's on Sony, which is one of the biggest, one of the top 3 major labels in the country. So the fact that they're pushing his music to Texas radio makes me so happy.
Yes. And here's the other thing, and it goes both ways. And I may have told this story on the podcast before, but I love how we're digging into this because once again, you're in my head because I was going to bring up something about our Texas artists on the national charts.
Right.
Because when the Texas Music Chart originally first started back with Shane Media many, many decades ago, Nashville started watching those charts. And then they started recruiting from those charts. So everybody pays attention to what's going on in Texas. Obviously, I mean, we can go through so many names, but I was looking at the national charts today and it's like, Casey Donahue's Queen for a Night is number 64. Randy Rogers and Wade Bowen are at 65. Ken Fo is charting nationally.
Really? Wow.
Yes. So a lot of our, So I may start pulling some of that in because as I was looking for some other artists that I follow that have national releases. And so I was like, where have I been? Why haven't I thought about this? Because I like to keep it true Texas,
right.
But we have to give kudos where kudos are due. And I'm so super duper excited for Ken Fo when I saw them on the CDX Nashville chart. Yes,
that's
absolutely.
crazy. I never would have guessed, but I'm so happy for them. And that's funny. That segues really nicely into our guest for next week, who is not necessarily a Texas artist, but a really well-established country artist. Just speaking of the national thing. So that's going to be really cool having him on. I guess going back to the TikTok comment you said, so I don't love TikTok. I need to make that known and clear.
Oh, okay. I thought you were like,
no. So the whole thing about TikTok is last year around this time, actually, I got on TikTok and I was, for some crazy reason, I told myself I was going to post a cover every single day on TikTok for a year.
Right.
And so
I remember that.
So as of 4 days ago, I'm done with that.
Oh, you're done.
I finished it and I'm done. So it didn't work out the way I wanted it to. I did it and it was awesome. It was a great experience. What I learned is that I can learn songs and play them. And also that I have no idea how social media works because people will post a video on there, like Jaden Hamilton, for example, and get hundreds of thousands of views and likes. And whatever I was doing it wrong.
Well, I don't know so much. Hey, give you an E for effort.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm proud of myself. That's what I'm saying. I did it. I just, I've been in bands my whole life and I've never really been able to figure out the social media thing. So now I'm just going to keep focused on creating good stuff and then figure out how to have somebody else do it for me we'll see.
Hey, and you know what I was going to tell you? Because, like, first of all, I got to brag on Kyle because he's a damn talented musician. But you know what song I want to hear you sing? I want to hear you sing the theme from Friends.
Oh yeah, you know it's funny. I did that one. I covered that.
I want to hear it because you
Yeah,
sound
I'll
like
send it
him.
to you.
Your voice reminds me of, I can't think of his name right now.
Oh man,
But
I
I
couldn't
was
even
like,
tell you.
you had sent something, or I saw something in the email with something, some of your audio from
Right.
your music. And I was like, man, I want Kyle to sing me the theme from Friends.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. That was one of my 365. It's funny. I just had a list on my phone of every single cover just so I'd have a record of it. I wouldn't double up on them. And there were certain ones where it's like, man, I cannot remember for the life of me if I covered that song or not. But then obviously certain ones like the Friends theme song, you can't forget that one.
Oh, I'm a huge fan of Friends.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, back to music. So I'm going to look at a couple of songs I want to highlight that are new releases, and then I'll move on to my big movers for this week. But there's a guy named Ben McKee, and he has a song called Fix You Up, which was co-written by two amazing songwriters, Rhett Akins and Craig Weisman. They are
wow.
huge in the industry. They've written, and those were the two names. There was one other songwriter. I apologize. I didn't jot that one down because I'm familiar with these two. But amongst the songwriters on this particular single, they've had over 50 #1 hits. So it's, another one of those where they've just got the diamonds all the time. Really like that song.
Is Ben a Texas guy?
Yes.
Okay, cool. That's interesting that he's working with Rhett.
Then here's another thing. Everybody right now, go find Chad Cook Band, Senorita Sky. Senorita Sky will be in your head. I've been walking around humming it, and I will spare y'all my humming. So that's a good one. That's one to look for. Those are brand new releases, and there's a couple more that I have on the radar, but I'm going to save those for next week. Now, looking at the ones that have really made big moves and making noise on the charts, Flatland Calvary, Some Things Never Change. It's just a good sing-along song, and I love the hook on it when the lights come up and the smoke clears, You'll Be Gone. But it's from their upcoming album, Welcome to Countryland.
Yep.
Also, another one that has a new release is The Wilder Blue. They've released The Conversation. So those are a few to look at.
Yeah, I really like that Wilder Blue song. It kind of gave me like Steve Miller vibes. It was quite a bit different from the stuff on the Hill Country record. It's almost got this his voice is obviously unique and very bold and sturdy, but but yeah, I got this 80s rock vibe and I really liked it. I kind of hope they explore that direction a little bit more.
Yeah, I really like them. Of course, I'm such a huge fan of Paul Eason and Zane Williams anyway. So it's just a wonderful sound, and their harmony is just amazing.
Yeah.
And now moving to Who's Toppin'. Those are Who's Poppin' and Who's Toppin'. And I think I might have left some out. Hang on. Oh, also Parker McCollum, Drinking. He he was another one in the high debut along with Jaden Hamilton. And then Greatest Spin Increase, Sundance and Ariel are still right there. Flatland Calvary, Parkham. Jamie Richards' new song Twang. I think I might have previewed that one last week, but if I haven't, I apologize. I meant to because it's an awesome song. But on CD Extraction, Texas, Randy Rogers and Wade Bowen are at #1 again this week with Hold My Beer. Casey Donahue's Queen for a Night at #2. #3 is Curtis Grimes' Friends. #4 is Aaron Watson Boots. He moved up from #7, and rounding out the top 5 is Mike Ryan, Can Down. I'm gonna have to go listen to that song after this because we've got some visitors, so we'll have to tune into that tonight.
We'll just make them listen to it.
In Texas Regional Radio Report, Curtis Grimes with Friends is #1. Randy Rogers and Wade Bowen, Hold My Beer at #2. Mike Ryan, Can Down. I'm so listening to that song after this. #4 is Clay Hollis, Anybody Loving You Lately, and rounding out the top 5 is Brody Lane with Stuck With You. And so that's just kind of looking, and all of the guests we've had on the podcast that have current single releases are doing really good. I've made notes of those.
I'm hoping for some new John Stork tunes here pretty soon.
Yeah. Okay, on Texas Country Music Chart, Casey Donahue's at #1 with Queen for a Night, Randy Rogers and Wade Bowen, then Clay Hollis, Aaron Watson, Mike Ryan, rounding out the top 5. #6 is Curtis Grimes, and you just brought up John Stork. He's at #7, If You Can Dance. Way to go, John. We're so proud of you. So I think they're going to still keep that one progressing, and I predict it's going to go #1. I did when we did the interview. I think John's got a number 1. Ken Fo on this chart's at 13. Teague Brothers are at 15. So good stuff
I
right
love
there.
that song.
So a lot of good stuff going on. Astros are back in first place. Whoop.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they've been playing good. Everybody's contributing. Everyone's picking up. Even when they got somebody that's on the bench or having to rest, that all the youngins are picking up, and it's all good.
Yeah.
In the middle of summertime, it's been busy here on the coast.
Yeah, this has been one of the craziest months I can remember. I was in Florida, and then I just got back from Colorado yesterday, and I have to go to Austin tomorrow for a wedding this weekend. And then finally, I think I get to hang out a little bit. Actually, I got to go to Kerrville on July 4th to go do some stuff leading up to our event in October. But
Right.
yeah, maybe after that, I'll get to chill out for a little bit, have some free time.
No, you have to come here. You have to come to Matagorda.
Okay, well, that's relaxing.
Yeah, that'll be
count
chilling
as
out.
stressful travel all the time.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, like, we're booking up so fast. I say booking up, but it's but this is nothing unusual for us, because we have friends, like I said, that are part-time residents here that have a second home here, or friends that live here, or friends that come fish here, or family. And it's just, we always have an open door. And it's like, come on by, we'll feed you something. Let's hang out and listen to music, tell fishing stories.
Yeah.
Dream about the next big one we're going to catch.
Yeah, it sounds like a blast. I really wanted to go this week. We were trying to figure out how to go catch some trout, but couldn't make it work. We ended up renting a Jeep for a day, and being a Texas boy, I've only been in a Jeep in a dirt field going fast. They do things a little differently out there, and it was kind of scary. We were hanging off the edge of a cliff for 8 hours.
No, thank you.
Come to find out, it's one of the deadliest roads in America, and the lady who rented it to us was like, "Oh yeah, y'all are good. It'll be easy, nice and easy, breezy drive up the mountain." But not so much. It was quite an experience.
That is scary.
Yeah, it was pretty scary. I mean, it was awesome. It was a learning experience. I will never do that again.
Here you go, kids. Let me just give you the keys to this Jeep, and it's all good.
It was wild.
I'm glad you're okay.
Yeah, I am too. I'm here. But yeah, I mean, I guess we talk about Spotify playlists. Most of you who are listening at this point should know that we've got the Texas on Tap playlist, as well as the Texas Toast playlist on Spotify. Texas on Tap includes every single song we mention on our Friday releases of this podcast. We're also still working on that summer playlist to build for you guys. So if you have any summer songs you really like, it doesn't have to be just Texas songs. Send them our way, and we'll throw them on that playlist. And then I guess that kind of covers the business. Like, like Helen always says, if you love us, show us some love. We love you guys. So
yeah. And Kyle was talking about all his travels. I think another good topic that we could put on our social media is, I know a lot of people are, they're hitting New Braunfels or San Marcos or Green Hall or floating the rivers. Send us your favorite Texas spot to go to during the summer.
Oh, I'll give you mine right now. I'm going to Texas State Tubes tomorrow in San Marcos to float the river, and I'm so
awesome.
excited.
That's so fun.
Yeah, that's my spot.
My favorite is offshore in the Gulf of Mexico.
There you go.
Gulf of Mexico.
Nice. Yeah.
I
need to catch some tasty fish. It's been a while since I've been down there in the bay.
Well, you need to come on.
Normally my dad just gives me a bag of trout, and it's like, oh, cool, I don't even need to go. But that's
yeah. Well,
it's not how it's been going lately. I did get a little bit of crappie, but yeah.
Yeah. One or two things will happen when you finally come visit here. Either it'll be good in the bay, we can fish the bay, or maybe offshore will be good and we can head offshore. I've got July, I have 2 offshore tournaments.
Nice. Well, that'll be cool.
So prayers for good seas and good weather, because our ladies mermaid tournament, which is the most amazing experience once a year for me. Speaking about going on vacation, it's like almost like a vacation on the water with my girls.
Right.
But it was canceled 2 times because of hurricanes last year. So I'm really hoping and praying that we'll have some good stuff and be able to get out there.
Fingers crossed for you. You've been talking about that one a lot, so I know you're excited for that.
Yeah, so I'll be giving y'all some updates.
There we go.
All right.
Cool. Well, I guess we'll see you guys next week with Jared Neiman, and we're looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to that because he has a lot of songs that he's a lot like Trent Willman with the songs that I have played forever, listened to forever. And he has this one song 2 songs I can't wait to talk to him about. And you might want to check it out. I mean, he has this song called I Got This. It's kind of one of those songs that it was played on the radio. It was a national release, but it's like, I'll tell a story about some different things behind that song and Blue Bandana as well, but looking forward to him. And if you haven't, check out Ariel Hutchins from this week. Oh, love her.
That was a great interview.
She's amazing. She's just so down to earth and such a hard worker.
Absolutely. That reminded me, and I'm glad you did. We talked about doing the educational series where we, break down different roles in the industry and the insides of how everything works. And oddly enough, the Mike Sandberg interview that we did
Yes.
was the most popular episode of our entire show so far.
Oh my goodness. My heart is so warmed because that's part of our goal.
Right.
Oh my
So
gosh.
people took that and they ate it up, and it was just a fun conversation talking about, silly memories he's had, and as well as, going into detail about everything he did and how it all works. So I think that this is going to be awesome. I'm really excited to start filling up the roster of really, really cool people that we're going to talk to and learn from.
For sure. Thank you for that, Kyle. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. All right. Well, I guess we're going to wrap it up, and everybody enjoy some good old Texas music while you're out and about doing your summer stuff this weekend. Enjoy the podcast, and make sure you tune in for our next big thing that we have coming up on Texas Toast. And again, so cheers, everyone. Bye, Kyle.
All righty. Cheers.
Well, you can go to hell. Texas, I've had my fill of every place but home. Well, take away these cities.